Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ash Ish. It has been a while since I've seen you all, but that's okay because I am in nursing school still, and I feel like my program is accelerated and rigorous. So I came up with a few tips. I'm going to call this video useful tools that you can use to get through a rigorous program. I'm not going to define a rigorous program because I want it to be your definition of rigorous. That way, it feels more personal to you, so the useful tips can feel more personal to you. But like I said, I think that my nursing program is a rigorous program. It's an accelerated course, and while I'm doing fine, these are the tools that I used to get where I'm at today. I got a lot going on. When I get closer to graduation, I'll talk about my resume and things like that and how I maintained my support system throughout this rigorous program. But in the meantime, let's just get to it. So I actually have 6 useful tools for you. We're going to start with minding the business that pays you. I have 6, like I said, but they're not in a specific order, like most important to least important, or vice versa. I just have them listed this way. This is the way they came to my head. So first of all, it is important to mind the business that pays you. This is what this means. And I have my phone here, so you'll see me looking down occasionally. Disregard negative conversations and gossip. A lot of times when you're in a nursing program, it's like 90% women, and you don't know how little other women have going on in their lives. School may be it for them. So they may ostracize certain situations, and it may be inappropriate, but don't engage, because when you do, you start to focus on the social parts of the educational program, and that takes away from your educational development. So you only have a certain amount of time to get this information down before you have to take the biggest test to make sure that you can get whatever license you're going for. And you don't want to take time away from your educational studies or your educational progression by gossiping or being involved in negative conversation. Now, especially if that's not something that you do on a regular basis. But if it is something you do on a regular basis, you should get that under control and learn how to flip the switch on and off so that you can pay attention to the things that are being taught to you. You're paying money to sit in the seats to learn the information. And even when you're walking through the hallways, you want to switch gears to give your brain time to decompress, so you can actually retain the information without feeling like you're burning out mentally. But you don't want to do it in a way that goes from something positive to something negative. Maybe something positive and then something else positive on a different level. What else? Making real friends during this journey is awesome but rare. The relationships are circumstantial and conditional. This means that you may see somebody in the first semester and not see them in the second semester, and then you never talk again, whatever. Even if you added each other on all social media platforms, like, you may never see them again. So what I'm saying is, step lightly. Don't take everything to heart that happens, that people say, that people do, even the nice things. Don't take them to heart. Take everything with a grain of salt. And then in the end, after everything is said and done, if you have a friend after it, then it's probably less conditional than you thought, because you're only in the same program right now because you both signed up. And I really do think that's just coincidental. If anything else cultivates after that and you find that it is genuine, I am very happy for you, because like I said, real relationships while you're going through any program is rare, especially for women. For men, it's a little different. But for women, a lot of things are superficial. I'm not speaking for all cultures, but for American culture, I will say so. And you can challenge it if you like in the comments. I don't mind. That's just my view on the American culture. A lot of things that American women do is superficial. So you have to take things with a grain of salt so that you don't basically wear your heart on your sleeve just to find out that they weren't your friend for real. Now, you want to honor honest people, but don't get too comfortable. like I said. All right, and that's it for minding the business that pays you. Second, delete or disable social medias from your phone. It worked for me. It worked for me. And people that were important to me or that felt like I was important to them made sure that we could still stay in contact with each other. And when I picked up my phone because I was bored or something on the weekends, there was nothing for me to scroll through and waste my time. So I replaced like Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I still have Instagram occasionally, but Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat with like NCLEX prep review, pharmacology flashcards, Quizlet, and it works. It works. Like like I said, it goes from educational progression to a different level of progression, because the thing that will separate you from the others is how you prepare. It's about how you prepare. The social media accounts are distracting and they're time consuming. You don't realize how often you look in your phone just to scroll and see what other people are doing, but it's absolutely crazy how much we do it. And I downloaded the variety of study tools instead. I encourage you to do so, even if you think you don't need them now, even if you find that they are not something that works well for your learning style. At least use YouTube to find educational videos. So the third one, try not to discuss your grades casually. You'll find yourself comparing yourself to other people, and it's not right. You know, it's a downgrade from the amount of self-esteem that you need to actually thrive as an individual. And then, not to mention, you may either get too relaxed and puffed up with pride if you realize that you are constantly getting better grades than a lot of the other people in your cohort. So it can go three ways if you ask me. One, you can either feel shameful and full of doubt in your ability to complete the program successfully and proficiently, or you can get too boastful and feel like you don't have to do as much work because you are just doing so good at this level. And then three, people may not even be honest with you about their grades. They could literally just be saying, yeah, I got a 4.0. Yeah, I got an A on this test. Oh, I got a 98. Whatever the case may be. So again, if you're going to engage in these conversations, which I suggest you do not, if you're going to engage in these conversations, you need to make sure that you are taking the information with a grain of salt. It should be a superficial conversation, and where it begins is where it should end. You shouldn't take it to your car, don't take it to your home, and don't think about it while you're studying. If that's not something that you can promise yourself that you can do, is leave it where it began, then I don't suggest you engage in superficial conversations about grades. It's too easy to compare yourself to other people. And at the end of the day, you shouldn't be competing with anybody but the you from yesterday, period. When I graduate from the nursing program, yes, we are all going into a very competitive field, but there are so many nursing jobs out there that I feel like if you see me as competition, you have a deeper issue with me. That's how many jobs are available for new nurses. 4, you need to understand the greater goal. You have to always keep it in the front of your mind. Keep it in the front of your mind, the back of your mind, put it in your back pocket, put it on your mirror at home, whatever you have to do. It should just play over and over in your mind, the greatest goal. You'll have to sacrifice. You'll have to. Sometimes if you want to go to the movie, if you went to the movies every weekend or just twice a month, you may not be able to do that anymore if you have a test every Monday. Or if you spent much of your money on shopping or things like that, you may not be able to do that because you may have to pay a tutor. You don't know. Or you may just want to save your money so you can pay these student loans back with no problem. So that's what I mean when I say you have to sacrifice. There will be long nights and early mornings. You will be in tears sometimes just out of frustration of not understanding something where you usually would understand something. And then you will spend hours doing homework. we had to do a focus review after we took a practice test for ATI, and my instructor had said in the classroom after everything was over, you only need to do about an hour's worth of focus review to get the points. I was doing a focus review for 4.5 hours, and I started to compare myself to what her protocol was. And I said, well, it may be something wrong with me. Why am I not retaining the information and it's taking me 4.5 hours to do it? But the first time, when you compare my first results to my second results, I had like a 90% increase, maybe 100% increase. So I'm not upset that I sacrificed my time and decided to focus on my educational goals. And I encourage you to do the same. Now, it takes discipline and determination, and it also takes support. But if you understand the greater goal, then you can put everything else in perspective. Once you get your degree and you're making 6 figures or however much money you end up making, you can plan time for those things. Let's see. Yeah, you need to find a process you're comfortable with that aids in your success. So for me, I'm comfortable with recording the lectures, listening to them on the way home, going home, doing a Quizlet that I have already constructed. I don't go find other people's Quizlets because all professors teach differently. So I'll go and I'll find someone else. I'll go and create a Quizlet. So I'll record the lecture, listen to it on the way home. Then I'll do the Quizlet. Then I'll take a break from that subject for 24 hours and do something different. Do the same thing with a different subject. So I rotate. I'm on and off. I do an intermittent studying that helps my brain focus on retention of the information. Maybe I'll go into detail about my studying habits in a later video, but that's not what this one is about now. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. I found a process that works for me and is aiding me in my success through my rigorous program. Number 5, you give maximum effort before you hire a tutor. You may go into a subject and say, oh my God, I don't know anything. Like, I absolutely don't know shit. But are you supposed to, really? If this is all something new to you, how in the world are you expecting yourself to already be proficient? When we have babies, we don't say, listen, you should know how to walk. No, there's a process to everything. So start by actually doing maximum effort. Like, I love Deadpool just for that reason. Maximum effort. That's all he ever say. And I really, really take that to heart. I think it's a really good mantra. Just flat out maximum effort. So, college is already expensive. You don't want to try to pay a tutor for sharing the same information that the professor is sharing with you, because that tutor gave maximum effort. And then utilize your professor staff as resources, because you're paying this college. That's what they're there for. They're here to aid you in your success. It's a part of their protocol to be able to make time and tutor you. Just review terms and things like that. They can't give you answers and stuff. But if they're the teachers and they're the ones teaching, you probably should really get to know their teaching style. And if that means you need to sit with them at least one time to see what their teaching style is, to figure out what best works for you. Not only do they get to understand you as a student are really trying to learn here, you also get to see that they as a teacher are really trying to teach you this information. Also, you want to search YouTube videos. I found that the longer the YouTube video is for a specific topic, the more detailed the information is. And it's actually taught by a professor usually. So if I want to watch something that involves cardiology, I am going to go to a video that says Professor blah blah blah, and that video is about an hour, and then it says part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Those are the videos I want. I don't mind if it takes me 4 days to get through the video. You're going to make it make sense on top of my professor making it make sense, on top of the book and the Quizlets. So that's how I make sure that I utilize everything I can and give maximum effort before I pay a tutor. A lot of people that are going through rigorous programs already have families, children, spouses, whatever the case may be. you are in a position where you not only have to financially support someone else, but get the education to financially support them in a more comfortable way. So you don't want to take money from your household because you have not attempted to give maximum effort. You know what I'm saying? So try to give maximum effort first. Utilize everything else before you decide to pay anybody. And that includes study groups with your other classmates. If it's something you're comfortable with, you know, you may not be the type of person that wants to sit in a group. I'm not. I like my solitude. So I don't do those things regularly. So if you're like me, then maybe the tips that I gave you about giving maximum effort will be good for you. My last tip, rework your schedule. Things you did before school, they may not be feasible anymore, especially with me being in school and my semesters rotating every 15 weeks or so. So a lot of things that I used to be able to do, like yoga 7 days a week, or going skating every single week, you know, or just a tea party with my daughters, I might not be able to do those things anymore. And it just goes back to the sacrifice that you have to make in order to get the things that you want and understanding the greater goal. So you may have to just put those things on the back burner for now. For now. They don't have to be completely deceased when we're talking about your schedule. But if we're just talking about letting them lie low for now, then I think it might be a good idea, because rigorous programs are rigorous. You need to pay a lot of attention to the information, retain it so that you get your money's worth, and then you pass your final test with flying colors. So like I said, remove redundant recreation. Like basically what I mean when I say redundant recreation is, if you go and play basketball every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, just go play every Saturday now. I still want you to be able to do a lot of those things because it'll keep your mood light, keep you from being stressed out, when you can really burn some energy off, like 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. I think you only need 3 actually, but whatever the case may be, at least 1 day a week, you know, still get your activity in that you really like, so you can decompress from the week. But maybe Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday doesn't work for you anymore to play basketball. Do something though. Don't neglect your physical health. Even if you just take a walk around the park and listen to a lecture. It sounds crazy, but you just want to stay balanced. That's the goal. You just want to allow time to decompress. So I just want to run through the numbers again so that we're on the same page. And then I'm getting off of here because my class starts in 2 minutes. 1, mind the business that pays you. Okay? Don't get wrapped up in everything that's happening. At least take it with a grain of salt. Okay? 2, delete or disable social media accounts from your phone. They're time consuming and they serve absolutely no purpose for the regular American. They really don't. Try not to discuss your grades casually. Don't make it a habit to compare yourself to others. The only person you're competing with is the you from yesterday. 4, understand the greater goal. You may need to sacrifice your time, but don't sacrifice your responsibility. 5, give maximum effort before you hire a tutor. You are paying an institution to teach you. Call on them for resources. And 6, rework your schedule. Things that you may have been able to do quite often before you decided to take this new journey may not fit readily into your new schedule. Allow time to still decompress and stay physically active, but don't take so much time that it is taken away from your studies. I'm glad to see y'all, and I hope this video helps. Let me know. I'll see y'all again soon, I'm sure. The semester's almost over. I have 1 more week after this, and then I'm decompressing. Okay, bye.